Ninh explains the rules of Pesapallo. The object of the game is to score more runs than the other team. Pesapallo, sometimes referred to as Finnish Baseball, is the national sport of Finland and is derived from American baseball. But a word of warning to my American friends. Do not assume that this is just like American baseball. It's not. Comparing Pesapallo with American baseball will most likely lead to confusion and your lack of understanding, so keep an open mind and think of this as a completely different sport altogether. To score a run, you must hit the ball within the area of play and run across the 3 bases and back to home. The field of play is long and narrow, generally a maximum of 96 meters by 42 meters. The bases form a zigzag shape, and each base is further away than the last. If you hit the ball outside the area of play, this is a foul ball and the batter is not allowed to run. So hitting the ball as far as you can won't do you much good here. The defending team will put 9 players on the field, whilst the batting team will stand around home base in a semicircle. The job of the batting team is to score as many runs as possible by hitting the ball and running around the bases. They will send a batter to meet the defending pitcher at the pitching plate. The pitcher's job is to pitch the ball vertically in the air, at least 1 meter above his head, and for the ball to land on the pitching plate. A strike is any legal pitch, and a batter is allowed 3 strikes before he must become a runner. If the pitcher throws the ball at least a meter in the air and it lands on the plate, it's a strike. If the batter swings and misses any ball, it's also a strike. If a batter makes contact with the ball, it's a strike. If you hit the ball within the area of play, you are eligible to run, but you don't have to. Remember, you can use all 3 strikes to decide whether you want to run or not. An illegal pitch is known as a ball or a bad pitch. If the pitcher misses the plate, it's a bad pitch. If the pitcher doesn't throw it at least a meter in the air, it's also a bad pitch. Or, if the pitcher does something else wrong, it's a bad pitch. If there are no runners on the bases, 1 single bad pitch is all it takes for a batter to walk to first base. If there are runners on base, 2 bad pitches will allow the point runner, who is standing on the highest numbered base, to walk to the next base. The job of the defending team is to remove the batters from the lineup and get players out of the game. In Pesapallo, being caught and being out are 2 different things. If a batter hits the ball in the air and it's caught on the fly by the defending team, anybody trying to run for the base has been caught. This prevents them from scoring, but this does not mean they are out. The only way for a defending team to get players out is if they throw the ball to the base that they are running to. If the ball beats the batter to the base, they are out. Also, if a batter hits a foul ball on the 3rd strike, the batter is automatically out. Once 3 players are out, their half of the inning is over and the other team gets to bat. Once both teams have batted, this is known as an inning. The game is played in 2 periods of 4 innings each. Winning 2 periods wins the game. If both teams have won 1 period, an extra period of 1 inning will be played to determine the winner. That's basically the rules in a nutshell, but there's a few other things that you need to know before playing or watching Pesapallo. For example, jokers. For 1 inning, a batting team can add 3 additional players to their batting lineup. This means that you can temporarily have 12 players in the batting order as opposed to the normal 9. These are the jokers. They wear a different coloured jersey and they can play in any part of the batting order they want. Their job is to increase the number of runs scored, especially if they're down on runs. Home run. If the batter manages to hit the ball legally and run to 3rd base, this is a home run and this scores 1 run automatically. The batter then stays on 3rd base and can run back to home base on a later play for an additional run. This means that a batter can potentially score 2 runs by themselves. Inning over. Another way for an inning to be over is if all the members of the batting lineup fails to score at least 2 runs. If the entire batting lineup has taken their turn to bat and has scored 1 run or less, the inning is over. Strategy. The strategy of the batting team is to hit the ball in areas where it's difficult for the defending team to get players out. They generally hit the ball away from the bases that the players are standing on. As previously mentioned, hitting the ball as far as you can won't do you much good here. You have to be selective where you hit the ball. The strategy of the defending team is to predict where the ball will be hit, and position fielders to try and get catches and outs. Remember, do not compare it to the rules of American baseball. Treat this as a completely different sport, and it's a lot easier to understand. If you found this video at all helpful, please be sure to like, share and subscribe. It takes me ages to make one of these things, and good karma is very much appreciated. Be sure to follow me on Twitter also, but in the meantime, enjoy Pesapallo.